just a normal day. Nothing Halloween-y here.
No.
Nothing Halloween-y to speak of.
Yeah. Just rolled out of bed this morning.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Coco.
I'm Marika. And we are
two friends who are sharing our knitted works with you today. I'm in LA.
I'm currently in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And yeah, we're just gonna sit and chat. Also, we like Halloween.
Yeah.
So we decided we would make it a little festive considering we can't really be together during Halloween. So we decided we would go heavy on the face paint. So I'm going with a Liechtenstein pop look, very what I had on hand.
And I'm very Day of the Dead skull look with what I could find at Walgreens up the street.
But this is actually a knitting podcast. So Marika, what are you wearing? What's your finished object?
So my finished object today, which totally inspired my look, I guess, is my Bell Cardi. It's finally done. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh.
Out of the way, I can give you a full spin. So this is the Bell Cardi.
It blocked out really well.
It's not even blocked.
What?
This is just ends woven in. I didn't want to wait to wear it to block it, so just threw it on my body.
Did you go out to Walgreens wearing this?
I did not. I didn't wear this. I did go to the Albuquerque Museum.
Yes.
There was a show we went to recently. I believe it's called 30 Americans. It was amazing. But I did wear this to the museum. I felt it was very like art museum worthy.
Did you get photos? Did your mom take your photo?
She tried.
Come on, Mom. Come through.
I'll send them to you. You can take a look. But
okay.
Yeah. But also this, what we've been finding too, because you're knitting some red things as well, is that they're really hard to photograph.
Yeah.
And give an accurate representation of the texture and the color. You kind of have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, they really mess with the exposure.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's done.
It's done. And how many months did this one take you?
Let me look at my Ravelry. I cast it on February 9th of this year.
Nice. So that's great. And you had to wait to get the yarn. So it was quite an experience.
Yeah. And let me see what I've got here. I have one whole ball left.
Oh, I know that really burns you, huh?
Yeah. I ordered 4 because I was like, I'm not running out of yarn again. And then I did it in 3, and now I'm like, ugh. But I do have, when I ordered this on sale, I ordered 2 other colors because I couldn't figure out what color I originally wanted to do this sweater in. So I have this kind of like pink color and deep blue teal color.
Right.
So maybe I'll just like throw this in with whatever project that ends up being. It'll just
do something stripy.
We'll get to like my embrace of the chaos and a work in progress later on.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's my finished object.
Do you just love it? Like it couldn't be more you.
I do. I love it. I love it a lot. And it's like, it's really lightweight for as poofy as it is. And I'm really glad when I was knitting it, I was really worried it would be super short because it has you do 3 repeats of the bells before you do the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a really long torso. And so I run into that problem with a lot of knitting patterns where they just come up short. So I was like, this one cannot fail. Like it has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I did an extra row of bells.
On the bottom.
Yeah. So it should, let me not knock my drink over here. So yeah, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 before the arm comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a good call. It hits like kind of right below the hip when I'm standing, which I think is what I wanted this to do. I wanted it to be kind of like a coat cardigan and be almost like overwhelming in its presence.
Yeah, it does.
It does that.
Yeah, achieved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the pattern was really great to knit. There were a couple mistakes in the English section. In going through Ravelry, I did notice some people noted it, and I found the same myself. But it's pretty clear that it's a mistake, you know, like as you're knitting, everything repeats, and then you're like, oh, I don't think this should be that way.
Right.
And yeah, it was just really fun to knit. I think it also helped that it's like I don't even know what this is. If this is a bulky, I think it's a bulky yarn. And you knit it on a size 9, I think. So it knits up really fast. And I don't know, I think just knitting this color is like invigorating too. We were talking, like you were telling me about your red knit too, and it's like you just feel like you have so much energy when you're knitting it, and you're like, yes. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Great. It looks great. Can't wait to see it in person. And it did lengthen more than I thought it was going to, so that's great.
Yeah, because even with the 4th row of bells, like when I got the sleeves on, and then while it was on scrap yarn, while I was waiting to get the rest of the yarn I needed to finish it, I was like, I'm so not sure even adding that 4th row of bells was gonna do it. But yeah, I don't know what happens in the yoke that just like magically it becomes this like garment that seems twice the size it was before you did the yoke.
Right, yeah. Looks great.
And it's not that warm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I have been surprised. Like I am warm now because I'm sitting in the sun and the door's closed.
And you have full face paint on.
And I have face paint on, my hair's down, like it's just, but no, because of the bells and because, you know, it's a loose fitting garment. And I think just like the poofiness of the yarn, it's really not like, it's not adding that much heat.
Fantastic. It is great. It's great to see one that you've been working on for so long get finished up, and like it's completely your taste, and also it's not usually a color you wear. So it was a bit of a gamble, but it looks great.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to fit it into my wardrobe is the next challenge now that it's done.
I mean, it looks great with what you're wearing though. I mean, I know that's a very safe thing to put it with, but it looks good.
Yeah, so.
I have one finished object.
All right.
Go ahead and pop down. So I knit another Ranunculus.
Oh, yeah.
In the Shibui Twig. Did not think about that.
Ooh.
So here it is. It's a bit see-through if you're wearing polka dots. Mm-hmm. But it is super light. It's the same in the front and the back. Mm-hmm. And it's such a wearable piece. I've been wearing it every minute of every day in the heat. The one thing I will say is this is the tighter collar, and the process of creating this collar's ribbing, I'm not a fan. Every time I've knit it twice, I've knit this pattern twice, and I forgot how much I don't like how this starts. It's just a little complicated, and when I first do it, I don't understand how my head is going to fit through it. And then suddenly when you get to like the point where you pull out you do a provisional cast on with a crochet hook. And when you pull out that provisional cast on, it like opens up to the point where you can fit your head through it. But I always forget that that's going to happen. So I get real nervous and I don't like it. But it's cute. I don't know. I was trying to figure out how I could just maybe do a regular cast on, and then maybe that would work, but no, it was too tight to fit my head through. So then I had to go back and do the one that she suggests, and it worked. I just didn't like it. Just don't like it. That's my only qualms with this pattern. Other than that, it's a joy to knit all the way through. Just have to get through that cast on. So I held the yarn double. I had 4 skeins and I used like all of it, which was like very exciting. Like it feels good to have that completely out of my stash. And this is going to be like a wear every day piece. It's a little distracting to see the polka dots through it, but this is how it looks in the, you know, I won't wear polka dots underneath it in real life. But so if you've already knit one ranunculus, I really suggest you knit a second one in linen, because one, just summertime knits are the best to me. And then 2, it's, you know, who can't have another ranunculus? It's so good. Like it's just the perfect little crop throw on top of something that, you know, like a dress or something like that. Not a polka dot dress, but whatever. So anyways, this is my finished object. Another ranunculus for the wardrobe.
Nice. The color is really great too.
I am branching into the purples, is what this you will find in this podcast.
Yeah, because you're very like you.
There's been a lot of reds and pinks in the last 6 months.
Yeah, and you tend to knit in like similar projects and similar colors at the same time. They're like grouped by color and time period.
Yeah. Weirdly. But that is what I do. So yeah.
Nice.
Bam. I don't have any finished objects photos of this one. And it was really difficult to take photos of it in progress, because it's such an open weave that, or I don't know if you call it a weave. It's such an open knit that when I would lay it on top of something, it just looked like knots, you know, it just looked like a tangled mess. And I was like, it's actually very beautiful. Yeah. What do you have as works in progress?
Well, we can start with my secret garden socks.
Oh my gosh.
I can show you one of them because I finished one.
You're gonna put it on? What are you gonna do, stand on the table?
I don't know, we'll see how I can get it to show. Let's see, how high do I have to get my leg?
Exactly, that's the question. Oh my. This has turned into a different, I do say that these are not safe for children, so. Whoa.
So that's the first one.
Yeah.
And then this is where I'm at with the second one. So we've
are speeding through these socks.
Because it's like now the pattern's so easy, you don't even, like, you kind of have to check the chart for the number of repeats before you do your decrease round. But other than that, like, I don't really have to look at the pattern. So it's just like go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first pair of socks. It did take, now the sole is all covered in dog hair. Oh, sorry. So I did, like, you know, I had gotten to this part, this ankle, a long time ago on this one. And then I had knit everything on double pointed needles, or no, sorry, I knit everything on circular needles. And then her instructions for the heel flap were arranged on double pointed needles. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do that right at this point, because I've just been knitting in a circle and I don't know what stitches were supposed to go where originally, because the pattern has it written to arrange on double pointed needles from the very start. But I figured it out. And then from there, it was just like, bam, this sock is done. And I was highly motivated to do the other one.
Yeah.
So what I have to do once they're both done is they fit fine. They're not too tight, they're not too loose, but you know, this does give a lot, and so they don't stay up on their own. So what she recommends is you could either knit this ribbing with like a very fine elastic thread, which I didn't plan ahead to do. So what I have to do now is get some elastic thread and kind of knit a few rounds on the inside just to, let me move that over there, knit a few rounds on the inside of the cuff to kind of have it keep its integrity to stay up on its own.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how you do that because I need your guidance on how to do the same thing for my anchors shirt.
Mm-hmm. And then I wear a size like 8.5, 9 in US women's shoes. And so, you know, the recommendation was to make the size 2, which I did, but I did shorten the foot. So I didn't do the last repeat of the pattern because I was kind of like trying it on and holding it up to my foot as I was doing it. And it's like a perfect fit. So
nice.
Those were the adjustments I made. But yeah, I'm very excited to finish these and have them be like my winter socks if the weather ever gets cool enough to warrant that.
Right. Maybe one day there'll be one cold day where you can wear them.
Yeah. And I don't remember the pattern designer's name. I believe she's Russian. We'll post all the info. But I was looking through her Instagram and she has like a ton more socks. And I loved these so much. And all of her socks are like, the pattern includes options for all different heights. So like you can make them ankle socks, you can make them calf, mid calf, you can make them below the knee, above the knee, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm not going to make another pair of socks right away, but if I do make another one, I'll probably do one of her patterns.
Excellent. They're so impressive. Your knits are always so impressive. So I have work in progress that you guys have seen a bunch, but I just finished the body on the astragal. So here it is. Let me get out of, and here is the red issue, right? It looks crazy. It looks crazy red, but that's not gonna make it any better. So it starts with like a marled, and then it is fading down into more of a solid red. And this is the Dappled by Brooklyn Tweed. So it's a 50%, no, it's a 60% merino, 40% organic cotton. It's super soft and kind of springy. Oh, there, now you can see. So I was alternating skeins to try to mix in this marled one. And I thought I was doing such a great job and that I saved enough of this skein where it had the marled effect that I could put it onto the sleeves, but the ball, I'll show it to you guys real quick. Suddenly, the ball goes from that barber pole to a solid red almost immediately when I stopped. So that's a little frustrating. And I have kind of put this on hold for a little bit, which is how I finished this thing. And I got so far in another project that I'm going to show you because my master plan for how I was going to deal with this is kind of falling apart. So it just may be that there's going to be a harsher line when the sleeve starts where this bright red is, you know, just going to be pretty much solid. So I just kind of like have to get the courage to say it's fine and deal with it. Oh, I just showed it to you inside out, by the way. So it's actually reverse stockinette. So the pattern actually is supposed to look like this, where it's got.
Okay. Yeah, that makes the yoke detail pop a lot more.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
I mean, it was pretty visible on the other side too, but now it's like, oh, okay, very clear.
So I did it so that maybe the color shift would meld a little bit more, but I think it's successful, but you can still see the striping of when I'm alternating skeins to try to like blend it a little bit better. But I don't know, it's still feeling very holiday to me.
Mm.
It can still work. I can still wear it when it's not a holiday. And I'm really hoping that like this blocks out, because clearly my tension was tighter. So it's creating these things from where the fabric was gathered during this section. So I hope that doesn't stick around. But that's, yeah, I kind of stopped for a minute because I just got a little disheartened about how it's not gonna, the sleeves are gonna be they're not gonna match the body as far as the blending goes. It'll be fine. I just have to like tell myself it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. And how long are the sleeves? Is it a short sleeve, or is it full length, or?
I'm gonna do like bracelet length, kind of 3/4 sleeves. And I think that's what the pattern is. You will have seen a photo because I would have put it in, but I believe that that's what the pattern has as well. It's not a full long sleeve. It's kind of a crop sweater as well. Standard stuff for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that one in person too, because it's like, you know, I can kind of see the hints of what you're talking about, but it's really hard to, I think it's more pronounced than what I can see on camera.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. It's so funny, the reds are just so difficult to, and I guess I should have known that, but like, still surprised me. But I love knitting with them because, you know, like you were saying, I love the energy you get from the color as you're knitting, but it is very difficult to photograph. We couldn't say it more. So you have another work in progress?
Yeah, I'm just noticing like I didn't put any makeup down here, so this is just like how naturally pale I am. I was like, do I need to bring the makeup all the way down here? And then I saw it on camera and I was like, why did I even put white on my face to begin with?
You're like, I just could have used my foundation.
Yeah, I just could have done the black and been done with it.
Yeah, the winter foundation maybe, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so my other work in progress is the Helen tank, which Coco recommended I use because I had all this yarn that my cousins had given me for Christmas a few years ago. I had 4 skeins of this cascade yarn, and they were all a different color. And so it was like, I technically have enough to do a project, but it has to be a very specific project because they're black, yellow, orange, and blue. So not like a nice, easy gradient I could transition through.
Right.
But the Helen tank has this like great color block intarsia aspect to it. And so I finished the front. It's knit flat front and back. And so I finished the front panel so you can see how they all go together. It's all stockinette, and this curls like a mofo. Like I cannot get this to lay flat to save my life. But that'll give you an idea of how everything is relating. So the issue is that I don't have enough of this black to have it as the base color on the back, but I have the yellow. So here's the back panel as it is currently. I don't know if you can see how they all go together.
I love it. This is like wild and crazy kids.
And so where these two will meet on the side, you know,
Yes, why not?
We'll look like that together.
Oh my gosh. So, as you pointed out before, the yarn is all part of the same line. So, like the speckled color.
Yeah, they're all, they all have this like contrasting color changing twist around the main color. And all of those colors are all the contrast colors are the same throughout all the other.
Right. So the yellow has some of the orange and a little bit of the blue, and then the black has some of the orange, yellow, and blue, and then yes. So it's actually working. And I kind of like, I love the just go get 'em spirit with which you embraced this project again, because it's wild. And you got to use some of the intarsia that you learned from your other two projects.
Yeah, so it's been great to, like, for the arete, which is on hold because I need more yarn for that. But it's been nice to knit intarsia flat because the arete does it in the round, and that's like a whole other like mind fuck, I guess. I didn't want to use that term, but like but the flat intarsia is good. Although I do I still, I've knit a whole panel out of it. I've done it 100 some odd times now, the switch of the yarn. And for some reason, every time I come to it, I have to like stop, like lay the piece out and be like, okay, this one needs to go under this one. And then this one goes this way. And then I pick this one up and keep going. Like, I'm hoping at some point that will just become second nature, but it has not happened yet.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny because you've knit the, what'd you do? The as if tea intarsia, you did the arete, and now you're on this one, but they all seem to be like intarsia in different ways. Mm-hmm. So it's always a new challenge. Mm-hmm. Fun. You don't make it sound easy, but it is rewarding because I look at all those pieces and I'm like, oh man, they're all good.
Yeah, no, I think it's like, I just watched the Very Pink Knits tutorial on intarsia a few times, and then I haven't totally messed it up yet, although I did lose track on the chart on this guy, and you can see that little, how this orange curve is supposed to be smooth, and right here
I see it.
That little, like, it goes like bink bink.
Yes,
that's where I lost track on the chart. And I was like, oh, I'm doing one, and then suddenly I was like, no, wait, I'm supposed to be 3 over, and I would have had to have ripped back like 3 rows at that point, and I was like, nope, we're making the jump now and continuing on. So I might go back and see how much. I should have enough orange thread, red yarn at the end to maybe do a couple like double knit stitches, so I can just stitch on top of like the 2 stitches to even out that curve.
Yeah, I mean, if it really bothers you, but I will say there's enough going on that sweater that you can be fine.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Can't wait to see how you style it. I'm always like interested in like, what are you gonna wear this with?
Yeah.
This one in particular, fascinated. Can't wait to see it. Love it.
Yeah. So those are all my knits in progress for the time being.
That one is really great stash diving, and that's a great pattern for, some larger scraps, right? Because are you going to end up using the full ball of each of those?
No, so I do have some left of the black. So that's the one color that's like all of what I need to use is already in the garment. So I do have a little bit left over of that. For the blue and the orange, those will be, you pick up and do like a little rib on the collar and the armholes. So I'll have to see how much of the blue and orange are left, but I should have the same amount of yellow and black at the end.
How much yarn comes in one of those skeins?
Oh, I have it right here. So it's the Cascade Yarns Bentley. Has a little teddy bear on it. I don't know if you can see it. There he is. So these are 100 grams, 207.8 yards.
Okay. Right.
So I should also mention that I did not get gauged with this whatsoever. So like,
what do they suggest? What yarn are you supposed to be using? Like a worsted weight finger?
No. I think like sport maybe.
Mm-hmm. Because maybe if you had like half a skein left of fingering or sport weight, you might be able to get this vest top done.
Yeah. So they recommend the pattern's written for a fingering weight on a size 3. So the recommended gauge is 31 stitches and 46 rows is 4 inches. So I did 31 stitches and 35 rows and on a size 3, and I was already at 6.5 inches. So I calculated my stitches per inch based on my gauge, which was about 4 3/4 stitches per inch. And then I calculated the pattern's recommended stitches per inch was about 7.75 stitches per inch. And then I figured out like, okay, based on their gauge, I should make a large. What is that ratio of like cast on stitches to the stitches per inch, and like what measurement am I looking for? And then I figured out that to try and approximate that ratio as close as possible, I needed to cast on the extra small with my gauge.
Come through, pre-calculus.
So and the other thing is I was like, I didn't want to just cast on the stitches. I needed to make the measurements because of the intarsia chart and like the number of stitches and where you're changing yarns and what rows you've cast off on to shape everything. I wanted to be able to maintain all of that from the pattern.
Right.
So I wanted to make an existing size of some kind.
Yeah.
So that happened to be the extra small. So technically I'm making an extra small, but it will
make up something.
Yeah. So there was a lot of math up front on this one, but now it's just follow the pictures.
We kind of discussed that in a much lighter version for my astragal. It is knit on a US size 3 and I'm knitting the size 2 because I refused to go down and knit this on a size 2.
Yeah.
So I was we're going down a smaller size.
You can see how tight this is, you know.
Yeah.
This is the right side.
Right. So maybe like, not in the black, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, this is on a size 3. Like, right. What am I going to go down to? Like a 0? And then it's like, it's just going to be, I feel like it wouldn't have any movement or drape at that point. It's going to be so tight. It's like going to be like cardboard.
It'll be like a sock, you know, like a nice, thick, hardy sock. Mm-hmm. So I think you made the right choice here.
Yeah. I mean, it does have a lot of stretch to it.
Right.
So I think the ribbing on the collar and cups is going to be important.
Right. Not only to like give it a little bit of structure, but also like for your head and arms. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so my last work in progress, technically that I'm going to show because there are other things I'm working on that aren't worth showing, is the minaret. Longtime viewers, hi if there are any, would have seen this one many times at this point. But I pulled it out because I had very much lost my way. And in the process of pulling it out, I realized my stitch count was off, my gauge was off. I had no idea where I was in the pattern. So I don't feel bad at all about this being a complete redo. Also, you know, given that it's Halloween and spooky season, I just love the like Edward Gorey, is that his name? Mm-hmm. I just love the kind of like grayish, mauve, Edward Gorey kind of.
Yeah, just a little, turn down the saturation just a bit.
Yeah. So, I've said before, this is just a twisted rib to great effect. Like, it gives you these little pinstripes that just make it feel so, like, I don't know. I just feel like a classy lady when I have this, even though there's no arms in it yet, but I just feel so classy when I put it on. Because it does feel a little bit like a tailored thing with the pinstripes that you're creating. But it is, because of the rib, like, feels very like you can move around in it. It's very functional at the same time. So I'm very excited about finishing this one up this time. I have been more diligent about paying attention to the pattern, and yet I am still off on the stitch count at the moment. And I don't know what happened, but I know how I can make it up. And that's the process I'm going to do before I split for the sleeves, because last time I didn't rectify my issues when I split for the sleeves. And then as I got down into the body, the issues just multiplied because of the little pattern at the bottom. Having, like, I've never done a bobble before, so having to learn bobbles, stitch count being off, ridges being all over the place. We're going to try to keep it a little bit more tight this time. So I'm taking the time to, like, get my stitch count correct before I split, even if that makes the sleeves and the yoke like just a couple of rows longer, because I am technically at the point at which I should be splitting, and I think I need to do like 2 or 3 more increases to get on the right count. Who knows what happened, guys? I thought I was like, I'm so on it. I'm keeping such good track. And then I got to the bottom and I was like, nope, still off. So, but that's it. That's where we are. I'm very dedicated to this one right now. And this is an independent dyer, indie dyer. This is Teal Torch. I've said it before every time I've ever shown this, but I love her colors. This is called Sinking in My Soul. I love a gray wash, but she's got a lot of neons as well. And we got this like 2 years ago, maybe more. Definitely like 2 years ago at a yarn festival here in Southern California. And I am trying to be more mindful about getting through the stuff I bought then, not letting it sit around. So I am excited. This is like Little Big Knits Selma. She's got a This Is About Time knitting cal and or making, whatever. But this is definitely part of that, because it's been so long since I started it that I'm like, it's about time that I finished it. So I'm excited about that one. Do you have anything else?
That's all that I'm working on right now. I finally got my Lion brand shipment to start swatching for the Caitlin Hunter.
Kova,
Koiva, whatever it is. So I just have to do, I swatched for the cream color, and now I just need to swatch with the color, with the Sedona, and see how that's gonna work together. But hopefully that'll be the next thing I cast on. And then I still have to finish the Trove and try and track down the yarn I need to finish the Arete, and I need to finish my mom's Christabel.
Right? Are you planning to finish that one? I know you're going to come back to LA for a little bit, but then probably go back. Is the plan to finish it in the second trip back?
Well, what I was thinking is like maybe I should only bring the Christabel with me to LA, and then I have to work on it because it's the only like project I'll have with me. Because I did, when I came out to Albuquerque, everything I had in progress and everything I was planning to cast on, I brought with me. So if I go back to LA and I might only take the Christabel with me, and then I have to finish it. And I also have to get some more yarn. So the yarn shop where I purchased all of the yarn to date is back open. So I might go to good old Wool House and get another skein or two while I'm out there.
Meet you there.
Huh?
I can meet you there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's the current plan. So hopefully next time we film, at least the Christabel will be done. I don't know about anything else, but
it would still be a big deal.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be our Christmas gift of 2019. So
right.
If I can finish it by Christmas 2020, then it still counts, maybe.
Totally. Are you planning any Christmas knitting for this year at all?
No.
Right. You learned your lesson?
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
You were ambitious last year.
Yeah, and it was I don't know. I just feel like what I like to knit, not necessarily everyone wants to wear.
I'm looking at your Bell Cardi, like, I can see that.
Yeah. Although my mom was like, oh my God, that looks great. Can I try it on? And so I was like, do you want a Bell Cardi? I was like, I have 2 other colors. We could do this in. But she was like, no, it doesn't look as good on me as it does on you. And I was like,
I think having height is helpful.
Mm-hmm. Although my mom's only an inch shorter than me, so it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll do the Christabel and then see. My sister did like my, I was going to try that. My sister liked the combo I did for the As If tee.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have enough of the mohair to do another As If tee, and then I did buy the same Aran weight yarn to make an exact replica of mine for her. So that might be her Christmas gift this year. First. Okay.
Well, no, I was just going to say, for gift knitting, I'm thinking about doing some stuff that is, I'm going to try to do some fingerless mittens, which I've never made mittens before. I can't decide if I want to make a beret or another shawl for another person. I cast on the Rift sweater from Jared Flood for my husband, which is, I feel like it's the obligatory husband sweater. Like everybody makes the sweater for their husband. But it's a simple, straightforward bottom up, but it has a little bit of detail on the shoulders. And I guess that's why something for the ladies, something for the men. I don't know. But that one is going to be a bit of a time investment, which is good. I mean, he's very knit worthy. He loves to get new knitted things. So that's cool. But it is a little bit of it's going to cut into my time. And then we'll just see if I'm going to add anything else, because that feels like a full plate. Yeah. So that concludes the knitting portion. All right. So then we're going to say cheers and happy knitting. All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween and happy knitting. Okay, on to the sew's all right portion.
All right.
That is the goal, for me to figure out how I can just sew all right. Probably should have tied this tighter so that it wasn't so much of a show. But I sewed my first ever completed dress. As with most things, there are a lot of compromises made in this piece, but it's finished. So that's all we're going for here. I did the Very Easy Vogue 9312, this guy. And let me tell you, it is very easy. Essentially, it's just a skirt with an elastic waistband and then basically like an open vest that you tie on the top. So no zippers, no buttons, no hook and eye, just elastic. And I saw someone on Instagram do it in polka dots, and I was like, yes, because polka dots are a trick of the eye. So there is like a lot of mess going on in the seaming. It's not well done. There's not a lot of great things I can say about the construction of this dress, but it's done, which is what counts. Because when I bought this fabric, I think I said last time, I thought I was buying a cotton spandex, but really I bought a polyester spandex, and I needed a two-way stretch fabric, and this is a four-way stretch fabric, and it was a nightmare. Like whenever I was trying to get it to do whatever I wanted, it was like slipping all over the place, pulling in every direction. Four-way stretch, now we understand. But it's technically together, and it technically covers my body. So not bad for a first project.
Put it in the win column.
Definitely in the win column. So can't really back up much, but you know, it's a dress. It's got a tie. It's cute. Mm-hmm. I don't hate the polyester as much as I thought I was gonna hate the polyester, because I feel like I accidentally hemmed this shoulder part in a way that it keeps it from like going up into this area, which is always never where you want polyester. So because there's a free flow of air, we're not having that issue. And then otherwise it's like, it's such a full skirt, such a big skirt, that it's not really touching me much. So nice. I don't think I would ever like intentionally pick this fabric again. Mm-hmm. And this hem is not straight. And this is one of those fabrics where it would have been better if you had a serger. It's a full-on Monet. From far away, great. Up close, total miss. But so we have basically at the same time, uncoordinated, though I feel like we were talking about it for a long time, we've both started sewing adventures. So I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I showed it last time in our sewing corner at the end of the episode, but I bought this pattern for the Burnside bib by Sew House 7. These are the illustrated versions of those. And I was like, oh, I want to make a t-shirt to go under the, here's the, it's only a matter of time before I did that.
That straw was very precarious.
Mm-hmm. So
you can pause. You can go get a towel or something. There's no...
I have a towel somewhere. Okay, so this is the pattern I bought. This is like the made real life version of it. So I really liked the t-shirt that was with she was wearing with the overalls. So I was like, they probably have a pattern for that. They do. It's called the raglan tee. This is where we're at with that. Oh, I got a koi on it. So it's all sewn on the sides. I do have to I have to cuff and hem the sleeves, and I have to hem the bottom. And I need to press this collar because this collar is very questionable right now, but I think it'll press out okay. One thing I did do is I went off of the suggested size based off of my bust measurement, and I've learned this from knitting, but apparently did not carry that knowledge over to sewing, in that check the finished garment measurements before you make the size they tell you to make based on your measurements, because you may not want a t-shirt that is 15 inches larger than your bust, which I think is what I wound up with.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a real big oversized tee, but we'll see how it once I finish everything up, how it functions.
Have you tried it on?
Yeah, I can put it, the collar, let me see if I can put it on.
You know, you don't really have to if the face and the hair and the whole thing is gonna get ruined.
Okay, so this is where we're at right now.
It's a little big, yeah. I can see the concerns.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's possible to maybe like take this in a little bit, you know, like I don't know how I could fix it without just having to make another one in a smaller size.
Yeah, because
you know, is this one salvageable?
I don't know.
And the other thing is, like,
we're the blind leading the blind here. I have no idea.
And the other thing is like, you know, as a t-shirt on its own, yes, it's a tent. But tucked into overalls,
sure,
it's fine.
Yeah.
So I was gonna make the try and finish the overalls first and see if my vision somewhat came to fruition. But so where we're at with the overalls is I cut out the paper pattern and then I did find I went to Joann's and they had this linen on sale for 50% off. So I got this, and it's 100% linen. This is like 97% cotton, 3% elasticine, so it has the stretch in it, which having a serger, especially for this collar, would have been a godsend. So live and learn. But so this is what hopefully will be the overalls.
Nice.
And yeah, those are the current sewing projects.
Great.
What's next on your sewing queue?
So I have a couple of things. So when I went to New York and I was at Pearl Soho, I bought this book. And I was planning to make the salt marsh skirt from this book. But there were a couple of challenges that I am discovering. The patterns are printed on, the patterns come in this book in this front portion, but they're printed back and front. So the front side is a pattern for the skirt, and then the back might be another pattern that's in the book. So you have to trace off the pattern onto another piece of paper. So we were discussing, this is a new, never thought of, like it didn't even enter my mind that it would be possible. So I bought tracing paper. It should be coming in soon, but I'm having trouble finding it. That's something else I'm gonna have to learn here. And to Marika's point, when she was explaining it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I could like save the other patterns I make, and because we were talking about how it is kind of worrying that you might pick the wrong size and then cut it all out, and then that pattern is not salvageable again because you cut it a smaller size than you actually needed. So anyways, this will be a useful thing for me to learn, but it is daunting at first how much I have to learn. Okay, so this is the pattern.
For the skirt.
For the skirt. I mean, yes, that's a photo of the skirt. It's not I didn't show you the pattern. But it's a drawstring waist. So gonna have to learn how to do like a grommet. And otherwise, it's pretty much just straight up and down sack-like situation. I'm trying to do things that are achievable. And going along with my purple vibes, I got this purple linen to make the skirt out of, and I'm thinking now that I can wear it with my soldata that I recently finished, if it turns out well. So that is one of the things, but I am waiting for the tracing paper to come in. And then the other thing I'm going to try to do is this pattern, a McCall's 8164, called Robin, I guess is what it's called. I'm going to do this one out of denim. And it's got pockets and just pockets on the inside and 2 little patch pockets on the outside. And I've never done pockets, but other than that, it's just a sheath dress, straight down. There is this one comes with a belt. So if sheath dresses don't always look very good on me because I have wider hips than my torso. So sometimes the top has to be so wide to fit my hips that it's just not a great look for me. So if that happens, then I'll make the belt and we'll just belt the situation. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the pockets. That is a concern. But those are my next sewing things. So I ordered a dark-ish denim for that, kind of like a black almost denim, because I wear a lot of black. Yeah, so we are on a sewing adventure.